O come, Emmanuel, and with your captive children dwell. Give comfort to all exiles here, and to the aching heart bid cheer. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come within as love to dwell.
Thank you, Edie. That was lovely. Good morning. I hope your Christmas was merry and bright. I welcome you to the Unitarian Universalist congregation of Flint. My name's Terry Cross. I'll be serving as your worship associate for today's service. We are in a show must go on mode today. Isolating from COVID exposure are the following: Sue Owen Kinsey, who was to have delivered the service message; Michael Raleigh, who was to play flute, prelude, O Come, Emmanuel; and Bonnie Poposik, song leader. All are fine, not exhibiting any symptoms, but are erring on the side of caution. My own Christmas dinner suffered the same fate, with 3 out of 4 people who were supposed to be attending having to isolate. But I'm thankful for those who stepped in on short notice: Chris Monk, delivering the message that Sue provided; Edie Robbins, serving as song leader; and grateful to all who serve in so many ways in this sacred space: tech support, Straws, Nicole, everybody who fills in and does what needs to be done. Our ministers, Revlynn and Jerry Kerr, will return to the pulpit next Sunday. I so enjoyed our Christmas service and activities: gifts for the needy families, Christmas revels with songs, stories, and jokes of the season, Christmas Eve celebrating the birth of an activist / possible savior, a baby girl born to Mary and Joe here in Flint, Michigan, with a couple of odd mechanics looking on and providing support. This is what I love about UUCF. Heaven is in this place every day. Thank you. UUCF is an inclusive church. All are welcome. Love, the quest for justice, the use of reason are cornerstones to our beliefs. Our faith draws on many religious traditions. I like that UU is a caring, open-minded religion that encourages you to find your own path. Life is a riddle and a mystery. Tuck in and enjoy the ride. Wonders abound. If you would like more information about Unitarian Universalism or about our congregation, make contact with one of our ministers at the church office. Information can be found at uuflint.org. Today's message is based on a book for small creatures such as we, Rituals for Finding Meaning in Our Unlikely World, by Sasha Sagan, daughter of astronomer and science communicator Carl Sagan. The book is an exploration of the marvels of nature, weaving science and nature into the fabric of human rituals. She highlights not only how one might go about forming secular traditions around space and science, but also how individuals and families can rekindle the wonderment, not only the natural world, but the incredible amount of scientific and technical achievement of our own species. How further ahead would we be in this pandemic if we honored the scientific achievements, defeating the scourge of diseases such as polio, diphtheria, flu, rubella, tetanus, whooping cough, many more, instead of mired in political lies, threatening our life and fabric of democracy. Here's a quote about the book from Bill Nye, the Science Guy. How often have you asked yourself, what is the meaning of life? Sasha Sagan finds its meaning everywhere, with her family, around the world, especially among the stars and the cosmos. Read her work, you'll have a deeper appreciation for your every step, every bite, and every breath. A little bit about Sasha Sagan. She's a native of Ithaca, New York, and a graduate of NYU. She's worked as a television producer, filmmaker, writer, and speaker. She regularly speaks on the ways science can inform our celebrations and how we mark the passages of time, inspired in part by the works of her parents, Carl Sagan and Anne Druin. Inverse named her one of the Future 50, a group of 50 people who will be forces of good for the 2020s. If you have a few announcements here, volunteers needed. Please join in helping to clean the church. We're still looking for a custodial applicant. If you're willing or able, contact John Straw. There's always little things that need to be done and can make us better. And we're having Joy Brewer, member of UUCF, has passed. Her memorial service will be January 6th at 2 p.m. here at UUCF. I remember Joy fondly from choir and the flute chorus. Yes, charming, charming, talented woman. Reverend Jerry will lead a dream work group starting Wednesday, January 12th, 6 p.m., every other Wednesday through April 20th. How often do somebody tell you, tell me your dreams? Here's your chance. And Reverend Lynn will lead UU 101 for Hope, Healing, and Occasional Heresy, an online class January 5th and 19th. Learn about our illustrious and entertaining history. Are there any other announcements? I believe not. Oh, please, we will join me. We will light our chalice. We are candles burning, sometimes sputtering, sometimes steady, with the same task as the stars in their majesty, making light, by Elias Amadon. And now, if you join me in reciting the covenant, recognizing the richness of diversity, the beauty and wonder of shared worship, and the transforming power of love and service, we gather as a sacred, intentional community to freely seek knowledge and truth, to celebrate the fullness of life, and by our actions to increase goodness and justice.
Our opening words today are from The Demon-Haunted World, Science as a Candle in the Dark by Carl Sagan. Science is not only compatible with spirituality, it is a profound source of spirituality. When we recognize our place in an immensity of light years and in the passing of ages, when we grasp the intricacy, beauty, and subtlety of life, then that soaring feeling, that sense of elation and humility combined is surely spiritual. So are our emotions in the presence of great art or music or literature or acts of exemplary selfless courage, such as those of Mahatma Gandhi or Martin Luther King Jr. The notion that science and spirituality are somehow mutually exclusive does a disservice to both.
You can rise and join me. Let's bring a torch. Jeanette Isabella, hymn number 233.
Bring a torch, Jeanette Isabella, bring a torch and quickly run. Christ is born, good folk of the village, Christ is born, and Mary's calling, ah, ah, beautiful is the mother, ah, ah, beautiful is her child. Come and within the stable, come and see the Holy One. Come and see the lovely Jesus, crown his brow, his cheeks are rosy. Hush, hush, quietly now he slumbers. Hush, hush, quietly now he sleeps.
Meditation. Today, we're going to combine the moment of silence and the candle lighting and follow with music for meditation by Jeremy Westover with an original piece, I Don't Know, composed by his good friend, Ken Mathena. So, let us listen to the sound of breath in our bodies. Let us listen to the sound of our own voices, of our own names, of our own fears. Let us name the harsh light and soft darkness that surrounds us. The world is big and wide and wild and wonderful and wicked. And our lives are murky, magnificent, malleable, and full of meaning. Oremus.
How does a being exist? Does it arise from the mist? Or is there some secret that hasn't been told? I don't know. Lord, I don't know. Here and now we must be. Seems like eternity. Time marches on. Where did we go wrong? I don't know. Lord, I don't know. Lord, I don't know. Time marches on. Where did we go wrong? I don't know. Lord, I don't know. Look all around and you'll know. Life just continues to grow. How we got here or where it goes next, I don't know. Lord, I don't know. Lord, I don't know. How we got here or where it goes next, I don't know. Lord, I don't know. In this life I find one must control their mind. Strive to be helpful and always try to be kind. Try to be kind. Try to be kind. Strive to be helpful and always try to be kind. Try to be kind. Our souls are made of love. Our bodies the stars above. Love is the answer, and that's all I know. That's all I know. That's all I know. Love is the answer, and that's all I know. That's all I know.
Absolutely beautiful, Jeremy. Thank you. Thanks to Ken. I worked with Ken and his wife Jan in the shop, and the amount of talented people in our shops in Flint, in that place. Blessing. That was a blessing to us. I'm going to light the last candle to honor the life of Desmond Tutu. So, 90 years. That he died this morning. And also, speaking of where I work, I'd also like to mention I got a Christmas card and learned my old boss, Lauren Crandall, died of COVID. He was one of Mikey's guitar teachers. That was the last place I saw him, was at the recital at Universalism. Blessed be.
Today's reading is from For Small Creatures Such as Us, As We, by Sasha Sagan. My mother's grandparents were Orthodox Jews, and I mean Orthodox. My great-grandmother Tilly kept a kosher home, and for her that meant that if a dairy fork touched a piece of meat by accident for a second, it had to be buried in the backyard for a year. Her husband, my great-grandfather Benjamin, volunteered as the night watchman at their temple because they were too poor to pay the annual membership dues. Tilly and Benjamin were born at the end of the 19th century in shtetls in parts of Russia, in parts of the Russian Empire. They got out while the getting was still relatively good, despite being virtually penniless. The story passed down to me was that their travels westward every day, Tilly and Benjamin would get a day-old loaf of bread from the bakery because they couldn't afford a fresh one. Then they would sit on the curb and say to each other in Yiddish, "No, you eat. I'm not hungry." They made it to Ellis Island, and my grandpa Harry was born in the New World in 1917. 20 years later, Harry was a journalism student at New York University, the first person in his family to get anywhere near college. His parents might have this Yiddish accent and be able to read, may have a Yiddish accent and be unable to read or write in English, but he was American and studying in Manhattan, and was making him cosmopolitan and skeptical. One day he rode the train home to Queens, working up the nerve to talk to his father about something important. At home, he found his father praying. When Benjamin opened his eyes, he was delighted to see his only son, his college boy, standing before him. Harry told his father he would no longer keep kosher, no longer pray, no longer spend Friday night at shul, because he didn't believe, not in the teachings he was brought up with, not in the Torah, not even in God. He braced for his father's reaction. My great-grandfather looked up and smiled at his son and said the immortal words, "The only sin would be to pretend." Since the beginning of time, creatures have looked to the sky with wonder, awe, and fear. The sky has represented the unknown and unknowable. We can look, touch, and taste the earth and the seas, But the sky represents something beyond our ability to understand what it was, where it is the end, and how it affects us. This makes us fearful, as it does all creatures presented with something unknown. So we developed stories about it that expanded its changing and how they affect us. In the beginning, we didn't have much information. Some of the stories were childlike, not much more than a child believing the moon was made of cheese. We needed to make sense out of the things we could not control and really didn't understand. Gods and goddesses were believed to be in control of all seen and unseen. They made sense of life and death. The moon, sun, and stars were particularly important because as we watched them, patterns were established. The patterns in the sky coordinated with changes on the earth. When certain stars were visible in the northern hemisphere, the weather would start warming and planting could begin. At certain times of the year, fish would be more plentiful in the rivers of Northwest America as salmon began to return to the sea to spawn. The stars were found to be useful to navigate by all peoples of the earth. Now, to please the deity or deities, elaborate activities were designed by humans, many of which continue even today. These activities or rituals benefited the participants in many ways. They base for a caring community. They also gave a sense of control over life. If the amount of grain was sufficient, if the sacrifice was enough, the people were really true believers. Then no ill would fall on them and they would enter heaven. The definition of a ritual, according to Webster's dictionary, is the established form of a ceremony, especially the order of words prescribed for a religious ceremony, a ritual observance, specifically a system of rites, a ceremonial act or action, an act or series of acts regularly repeated in a set, precise manner. This really doesn't tell us much about what a ritual is. To many people, a ritual is a way of expressing joy. Think about it. How many of us have seen indigenous people's rituals? The singing and dancing is sacred, but also very joyful. The same is true for evangelical Christians. There's a tremendous amount of joy at the service. So people of faith have awe, joy, sense of community, and most of all, joy. What do those of us who are secular have? We know that artistic masterpieces have been created in the name of religion, magnificent pieces of music likewise. There is certainty with the Catholic Mass, the world changing at an unimaginable rate, but change is slow in the Catholic Church as it is in many other faiths. What we do is as much a ritual as what others do. We have home rituals. We may say grace before a meal, but we may have other ways, and we may have other ways to let people know we love them, like the simple statement before we go to bed, sweet dreams, or like my father used to say, don't let the bed bugs bite. Some people do yoga on a regular basis or meet with others for coffee and discussion. We acknowledge and celebrate births, people joining together as life partners, the various stages of life, and of course, death. These are rituals. When looking at a newborn baby, we may not see the hand of God, but we are filled with love and wonder. We too look at the skies with awe and amazement. Astronomy, let us know. We too look at the skies with awe and amazement, and astronomy, let us know of the vastness of our universe and those beyond it. As Carl Sagan said, there is a commonality between spirituality and science. It is hard to imagine the DNA without being impressed on how human genes are passed from one generation to the next. On Saturday, yesterday, the James Webb Space Telescope was launched. When it is in orbit, it has 4 key goals: to search for light from the first stars and galaxies that formed in the universe after the Big Bang, to study the formation and evolution of galaxies, to understand the formation of stars and planetary systems, to study planetary systems and the origins of life. Now, if that's not all inspiring, I don't know what is. To explore strange new worlds, to seek out life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no man has gone before, as Captain Kirk would say. But this is not science fiction. We do not know what will be found. We may have to give up on things that we now call fact when presented with new information, but that's something to be celebrated. We too are a joyful community. We should not hide that fact. Some of the UUCF ritual include joining together to go kayaking in the summer, or to outside concerts, taking nature walks, working on the church grounds, going to film films together, and of course, having coffee and conversation. Let us continue these rituals that still work for us and make new ones. And most of all, let's be joyful.
And again, I'm going to ask Jeremy Westover to come up and sing. This will be The Birds Sing by Tyrone Wells.
Sunshine came out today, and it's shining all over the world, all over the world. Sunshine came out today, and it's shining all over the world, on every man, woman, boy, and girl. Because it feels so fine when the sunshine shines. It warms your skin and your soul within, and the birds sing doo doo doo, doo 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 doo. Poor man and the millionaire, both are sharing in the oak tree shade, not stressing over money made. Preacher and the atheist, both are jumping in the ocean waves. Today they both feel safe, because it feels so fine when the sunshine shines. It warms your skin and your soul within, and the birds sing doo doo doo, doo 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 doo. Said, what you gonna do when the clouds come? Gonna hold your head high. Said, what you gonna do when the clouds come? Keep your eye to the sky, and I'll tell you why. One day, sunshine's gonna shine again. Gonna shine all over the world. All over the world. One day, sunshine's gonna shine again. It's gonna shine all over the world, on every man, woman, boy, and girl. Yeah, 'cause it feels so fine when the sunshine shines. It warms your skin and your soul within. And the birds sing do-do-do, do-do-do-do, 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 do-do-do-do-do. Yeah, and the birds sing do-do-do, do-do-do-do, do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do.
Beautiful, beautiful. Singing along with you, Jeremy. I'm singing along. Generosity. Quote from Liz James. Grant me bravery to step forward and offer whatever I have. Grant me the wisdom to see myself as part of something greater, and grant me compassion to see and draw out the gifts that are found in every person. I'm grateful for this liberal, caring community. Your gift of time, talent, monies demonstrates your belief in the vital values of the message we have here. Your gift makes you a part of a larger group and strengthens our faith community. It's easy to give. We invite you to join us as we take the collection by placing your offering in the basket at the back of the church as you leave, or by making an online gift at uuflint.org. Thank you for all the ways you support UUCF.
Closing words. Help a stranger, praise a child, light a candle, share your love. Sing for joy, lend a hand, pray for peace, understand. Let's make 2022 a better year.
Now join me as we extinguish our chalice. Extinguish this flame, not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. And before Jeremy sings, I'm going to do a little tribute to Carl Sagan. With the end, I think it'll get you encouraged. It will go with the music. Carl Sagan's Pale Blue Dot monologue. From this distant vantage point, the earth might not seem of any particular interest, but for us, it's different. Consider again that dot. That's here. That's home. That's us. On it, everyone you love, everyone you know, everyone you ever heard of, every human being who ever was, lived out their lives. The aggregate of our joy and suffering, thousands of confident religions, ideologies, and economic doctrines, every hunter and forager, every hero and coward, every creator and destroyer of civilization, every king and peasant, every young couple in love, every mother and father, hopeful child, inventor and explorer, every teacher of morals, every corrupt politician, every superstar, every supreme leader, every saint and sinner in the history of our species lived there on a mote of dust suspended on a sunbeam. Now please sing with us, sing with Jeremy in our postlude. Thank you.
mountains sing, or make the angels cry. Though the bird is on the wing, and you may not know why. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Some may come and some may go, we are all sure to pass. When the one that's left us here comes for us at last, we are but a moment's sunlight in the fading grass. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, try to love one another right now. If you hear the song I sing, then you will understand. Listen. You hold the key to love and fear in the palm of your hands. Just one key unlocks them both, and it's there at your command. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Oh yeah, I said, come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, try to love